Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. I forget what week. I
We're
forget.
back. We're back. We're back. It's 14.
Week 14. God
Week
damn.
14.
Um, yeah, I don't. Let's see if this week has as many surprises in store as last week did, because I had quite a few. I
That
think
is
everywhere.
one that is one hell of a way to pronounce injuries. Yeah. I'll be honest. This past week, um what was it? I don't remember how the rest of the games played out, but I do remember I'm pretty sure every single 1 o'clock game went the way that I wanted it to go in terms of who won and who lost. So I forget like what was it? I guess Thursday would have rather the Seahawks won, and Monday would have rather the Jaguars won. So I guess it was just those 1 o'clock games. But I just remember like sitting there at 1 o'clock, like or like at 3 or whatever when the games were wrapping up, and I was just like, wow, I am very happy. I'm like, wait a minute, every team I wanted to win won. Not every team I predicted maybe, but every team I wanted to win. So great, love to see it. But enough of last week. Let's start. Can we actually keep talking about last week? Because I don't want to start talking about the Steelers Patriots game yet.
Especially because I think your dumbass team is gonna win this game and crush all New England's hopes for the number one pick.
Tell me, do you think that Kenny Pickett leaving the offense has any effect on your stance here?
Yeah.
You think that them going from Kenny Pickett to Mitch Trubisky is going to be such a night and day scenario that they lose to the New England Patriots?
No. Let me put it this way, right? Because you can do this whole thing whatever you want, but in the last 3 weeks specifically, if you look at the New England Patriots defense, you guys have a really good defense. Like that can't even be up for debate at this point. You guys have a really good defense. Like, and we have a really bad offense. Yes,
Well,
yes, you guys have a bad offense too, and we have a great defense too. I'm just saying though, I don't know why it's that out of world to think that when this score is probably only going to be separated by either a field goal or a touchdown. Like literally, you probably just have to score a touchdown and a field goal to win this game tomorrow night. Either team.
well, I bet that's what Bill's hoping for because that's all it seems we can score. We have held opponents to less than 10 points the last 3 weeks, and we have not won any of those games. Last week, I came to you and said that the Patriots have the worst points for in the league. Now, not only did they have the worst points for this week, they did not get a points for this week.
I'm
So
not.
they are still, I don't even have to check my phone. They are still at 148 total for the year
I'm
through
not
13 weeks.
disagreeing.
They are not going to score.
I'm
And
not.
I'll be honest.
Go.
Sorry, I thought you were done.
Go.
You go.
No, go. Finish.
I'm just gonna. I'm complimenting. I'll be honest. I really am starting to get up, like your run game there. I don't know his first name, Warren. He seems like a much better runner than Najee. And meanwhile, Najee, I still don't think he's as bad as you think he is. I think he's a great dual threat when he has someone who's slightly better than him. I think is it Jake Warren? Jake Warren?
I thought it was PJ Warren, but I could be wrong.
Whatever Warren's first name is, I think he's actually a very good running option. I think you because he's a rookie, I'm pretty sure. He's a great option for you guys. And I think even if you don't re-sign Najee, you get another second running back in there who has like the same skill set as Najee, maybe even a little less. I think you could develop this Warren guy into a really great player. And I mean, I, there's just more going on for your offense than there is for our offense, even though you don't have your starting quarterback. I mean, do we? Do we? You don't have your starting quarterback. We don't have
But
a starting
okay,
quarterback.
stop. But stop. See, okay, this is really pissing me off right now because you're acting like this isn't a winnable game for either side. I like, and again, maybe this is because like I've watched a disgusting amount of Steelers offense this year. Um, but like from what I've watched from the Patriots defense, like, look, they're gonna do enough. It's gonna come down to the end of the game. Like, there's a legitimate like we basically. I think we ended up putting up 10 points or something or 17 against the Cardinals the other day, but we practically put up 3 points against the Cardinals. Like we can't. We're incapable of scoring a lot of points. So like yes, okay. Could it very easily be a 6-0 game? Steelers win, like that's happened to the Patriots basically multiple times now. Yes, that could easily happen. However, you guys could also easily score a touchdown, and the game is 7-6, and you guys win. I'm just saying, like it's so mind-boggling to me that you think it's like so far out of the realm of possibilities that the Patriots can win this game. I think this is exactly the type of game that the Patriots can win. And I honestly don't know how you can't see that. You don't even think there's like a somewhat okay chance?
mean, any team can win any week. The Cardinals beat the friggin' Cowboys.
The Cardinals just beat the
I
Steelers.
will never look. I will never ever say that there's a 0% chance of a
No,
team winning.
I know. I'm saying like you like I don't understand how you can't almost see this maybe not a 50-50, but like you don't even think there's like a 35-40% chance the Patriots can win this game?
2080.
That was a
2080.
weird number, but okay.
How's that a weird number? That's 1/5 and 4/5. That's perfect.
28?
2080.
Oh. I thought you said 28. I was like, what are you talking about? But um
Wait, what? Wait, 28 what? To 3?
no, I thought you were saying a 28% chance. Because my thing I was saying that's why I
Oh.
was like, what?
2080.
But anyways,
2080.
I don't know, man. And again, I haven't fully picked. I'm trying to think because
I think it's this you have the same symptoms that I had at the
no,
beginning of the year when
no,
we still had
no.
let me finish. Where it's your team. I understand. No, of course the Steelers are not guaranteed a win, but I think you're only putting them at 65 to 35 because you're a fan of them.
No.
They have a much they have a much better squad than the Patriots have. So much better.
Yes, they do. I agree with you, right? But the problem is the Steelers are a type of team that you genuinely could win off of a touchdown and a field goal. Yes, I know it's hard for the Patriots to get that. I know. But my point is when you're dealing with two very good defensive teams, right? And two bad offensive teams. That's what it is here. That is the game tomorrow. It is two bad offenses and two good defenses. That's a fact. So to me, I think it's a lot more of an even playing field than people think. Like that's all I'm saying. Like I don't know. Like I don't understand how you can't see that, especially when you've been shitting on the Steelers half of the season. Like I that you all of a sudden you're making it seem like there's some juggernaut who's supposed to come in and beat the piss out of them. Like I don't know. I don't get it. The Patriots haven't. When's the last time the Patriots got blown out?
When was the last time they scored more than 10 points?
They don't. Okay, but this is a team you might not need to score more than 10 points against.
Yeah, but
That's my point. That's all I'm
okay.
saying.
I mean, I don't understand why you are asking the last time they got blown out. You want to know who it was? It was the friggin' Saints. The Saints ran all over our defense. The Saints.
Because my point is, they have had a chance in all of these games, and they haven't played against, in my opinion, an offense as bad as the Steelers are currently. That's my point.
We'll see. I don't think there's a shot in hell other than just that backwater out. Like if they beat us if we beat them convincingly, not only do I owe you an apology, but I owe Bill Belichick a punch in the face.
No,
but
no. If you win in general, why would you have to win convincing? If you guys win, the win's a win. I'm picking the Patriots. With that said,
how many are picking the Texans versus the Jets though? Dude, there's so much. I don't know why the Jets are still so talked about on social media. Like we know Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back now. It's like, oh well, Zach Wilson says he doesn't want to play. Who cares if Zach Wilson wants to play or not, dude? I was saying he better start playing. These are the only starts he's gonna get in the friggin' league for the next 5 years. Kid sucks. And
I
I
actually
forget who it was on First Things First, but they were like, he would honestly have a better chance of going to another team if he didn't take a single snap this year.
well, that's why it's probably the best if he doesn't play for the rest of the year because that was Nick. Nick said that, and he said that if he the longer people go without seeing him play, the more likely they'll take a chance with him. But I actually think it's pretty big news that a quarterback has basically came out and said he doesn't want to play. Like that doesn't really happen. That's pretty huge in my opinion.
I know, I agree that should have been reported on, but I feel like it's always something new with the Jets that they're
Yeah,
reporting on, and it's like they're just not that into that is interesting. They're everything else, like I just so happen to like be saying this after something interesting happens and they discuss it. I feel like we've been discussing the Jets too much, like
fair.
not you and I, but just like the world
I agree. I
because of
agree.
all the Aaron Rodgers, and it's just like I get out of my face. I'll see you next season. Maybe things will be different and you'll be relevant. But for now, and that's coming from me, the guy who can't stand how much they talk about friggin' Mahomes. I'm like, wouldn't it be a nice break for them to talk about the Jets? But it's like, no, talk about a team that actually could make a playoff run.
What did real quick, what did you think of because I was on the edge of my seat last week because I took the Broncos and you took the Texans, and then Russ threw that interception at the end. But
Oh,
what was your thoughts on last week's on the Texans Broncos game, if you caught any of it?
that was a great game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take away. I know that like they're shitting on Russ Wilson for like trying to like play like his old self. Like they're like saying, "Oh, the Broncos run, blah blah blah," and I don't want to hear any of it because if that one pass, let's say for example, the guy who intercepted it dropped it, right? He didn't get the interception, and then Russ just runs it in or throws a dime. We're praising the guy. We're praising him.
That's how it
So they're
goes.
talking about all game. He's like throwing these bombs, and they're like, "Why is he doing that?" They would not be saying that if that one play hadn't happened. And yes, I know we live in a world where it did happen, and so it's being discussed. But I have to say this, I'm not taking too much away from that game. I'm taking more away from the 5-game winning streak than I am from their loss to the Texans.
I agree.
However, what I will say is I do take a lot away from the Texans on this win because it is just showing once again that CJ Stroud, unlike Brock Purdy, can be in as close a game as he wants and just he'll be fine. He'll be
Yeah,
fine.
I'm still.
So
I don't know if it really showed me much with the Texans. Maybe C.J. Stroud. Yeah, I could get with that. But I'm that's why I asked you because I know that you were more so talking about the winning streak for the Broncos coming to an end. But again, I still when I still don't think they necessarily, and I'm pretty sure you agree with me. I still don't think they lost really any momentum. I mean, yeah, that like that's a game you look at like, damn, we could have won. But man, Russ threw that one touchdown pass. I forget what it was. Oh, that was such a beautiful pass.
oh yep.
I was
Yep.
watching it. I was like, that man, that was sexy. That was sexy. Like I don't know. That was just, and you know that I have the tendency to hate on Russell Wilson for no reason at all. But
Yes.
I'm really I was really impressed with him that game, and I actually like his approach. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna get some more interceptions as a result of that, but
Yep.
that's the Peyton Manning approach. That's the Brett Favre approach. Like that. That's just it is what it is. But with that being
And
said,
those things will happen. You're in a position where you're trying to make the playoffs, and if you make the playoffs, yeah, you can play it safe, or you could try to play around with this. He was trying to play around with this, and I mean, you can say it lost him the game, sure, but like it didn't put him in they were playing a great team, right? Like I thought they were gonna lose that game with how they've been playing the last 5 weeks. They changed it up and lose, you
yeah.
know? If they had played the way they played the last 5 weeks, would they have lost? I don't know. We'll never know that. I think the
Also,
biggest takeaway though is Tank Dell, dude. I don't like seeing that. I was literally just saying CJ Stroud to Tank Dell is gonna be filthy. CJ Stroud has his favorite receiver now. Like it's gonna be Ness. Now he's got to find that favorite receiver again. It's probably gonna be Nico Collins. It could be Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz on a off chance he finds it's Travis Kelsey. But that's a big blow that they finally found a receiver that is going to be like Stroud's go-to, and he's just out of there. Broken fibula, I'm pretty sure. Horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, lo and behold, like that was probably so. I mean, every game going forward is probably going to be the biggest game of CJ Stroud's career so far. But that was definitely his biggest game so far because the Colts, they're 7-5. I mean, I know they're still technically in third, the Texans, but they're inching away. They're inching away closer. But with that being said, I take the Texans over the Jets.
Yeah, I take the Texans, but I don't know about that being his biggest game. I would say his biggest game just to get to where he is. Like it's not like they started the season good. I would say like their path to to their getting to their current record has some relevancy as well. And I honestly think their biggest game was that game against the Bucks, just because not only did it attribute to getting to where they are, which is a positive record, but it was the game where people were like, okay, Stroud's real. But too much about this already. I think we agree. Ravens and the 500 Rams.
Um. So
I've been saying this Rams team is real since week 1. We saw Puka Nacua, and I was like, the dual threat with Cooper Kupp is going to be insane. The running back duo of Kyren Williams and Cam Akers, but it's going to be insane. I was like, this team is going to end at 500. If they weren't in this division, they'd make the playoffs. Now, not only are they 500, but they're in a position to make the playoffs, which is even better than I expected. What?
if
I'm
they
not even throwing out opinions. I'm throwing out facts and you still disagree. What?
No, you're not. What? How many? Which divisions are you talking about that if they were in, they would be in plus? Also, it's still week 14, buddy. Like there's still. And look, I know.
I understand, but they're trending in the right direction. They are
And
trending in the right
I never
direction. They are where they
disagreed.
need to be at this point.
No, but I never disagreed that they weren't trending in the right direction. I just said they weren't this great team for this year, and I still stand by that. I still don't think
I
they're
said
a
they're
playoff
gonna.
team.
I agreed that they were not a playoff team in this division. You said that they weren't going to end 500.
Okay, yeah,
I don't care if they make
I still roll with that.
I would like them to make the playoffs because I do like the team, but do I see them making it? Now I think there's a better chance, but I still coin flip it, especially because I think we're both going to take the Ravens this week, who to beat them. But I think they're gonna get 50. I think they're gonna get 500.
I don't think so.
I think they're gonna.
Look. I know their schedule is pretty easy. I know they got like the Commanders and they got the Giants, which they should be able to win. But they got the Ravens, they got the Niners, and then I think the Saints too. I think that Saints game is going to make or break if they go 500 or not.
Yep.
And the Commanders could mess around and win. We've seen the Commanders win some crazy games. I still don't got them at 500. I don't. But
I'll be watching them closely because I know that was my big bold take that I'm looking is trending in the right direction for me. You also have one at the beginning of the year that's somehow unpredictably trending in the right direction for you. We're going to be talking about that later.
it's not though.
We'll talk about that later.
No, but wait. If it's for the Packers, my prediction was they were only going to get into the playoffs because they were going to win the division. So I didn't predict that right.
I still thought they were going to be the last in the division.
Yeah.
You're better than me on that take. You are much closer than me on that take.
But yeah,
I'm just saying. I think I'm going to end up closer to you on this take, and that's great because I thought that my big take this year was the Rams, and I thought that yours was the Packers, and we both completely disagreed with each other, and it looks like we're both going to be proving each other wrong, which I just think is friggin' hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
But yeah, so anyways, on to the Ravens. I want them to win this week. I do want them to win, so the Mahomes Invitational does not happen.
It still will happen.
It was them, Miami, and Jacksonville who had a chance after the Chiefs lost. So it's the Ravens and Miami now, and I hope one of those teams wins out. And if they do, then the Invitational is hopefully canceled.
What are you gonna do when Miami and Baltimore choke in the playoffs and the Chiefs are still hosting?
Notice how I said hopefully.
No, I know, but I'm saying,
canceled.
but I'm saying, like, I just want you to like don't set yourself up for disappointment because you know
No,
some stupid shit like that's gonna happen.
I understand that the playoffs are a different story, and I'm going to start rooting for that bridge when it comes to it. But for now, I'm taking things step by step. First step is don't give them the bye.
Just give them more motivation, right? Let's do that. But anyways,
No, no, I think that they are dangerous enough to get the bye.
I'm
The
not
issue,
saying you
the
don't.
issue, the people that give the Chiefs motivation are the people that doubt the Chiefs. I'm saying the Ravens and the Dolphins need to win out. They
I
need to
know,
beat.
Joe. Joe, I know, and no offense, they're not seeing this to get motivation from you. I wasn't talking about you. I'm just saying if they
They're
don't,
watching this. They're
if,
watching
if
this.
they don't, if they don't get the buy, then everybody on the news outlets is going to say the Chiefs are done. The Chiefs are done, and you know that's going to happen because they're already saying it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't think they're a dangerous team. I know you think that, but let's move on. We both got the Ravens. We can skip the Panthers Saints.
Both got the Saints.
I mean, I'll take the Panthers. Why not?
He's having fun.
I'll jump on the
Why
ledge
do you
you
take the?
jumped. I'll jump on the ledge you jumped on last week.
Who do you think is going to be the best player for the Panthers in their victory?
Let's just go to the next game.
I
Um,
want an analysis.
um, Colts Bengals. This is a really big game for the Colts.
It's a really big game for the Bengals. Who's atop Mahomes' Mount?
but I think the Colts kind of have. I don't know. I don't see the Colts losing this game. I think if they do, that would be really bad. I honestly don't think they would be able to recover. I think the Texans would be smooth sailing to take second place after that.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't got much for this. I just think the Colts are gonna win this game.
Call it. I'll call it. I'll call my boy. I'm going to take recency bias. I'll take Jake Browning. Um, so let's talk briefly about the Bengals play because I'm hearing a lot of Jake Browning love, and I don't want to hear it because I didn't watch too much of the game, but from what I saw was Mixon and Chase played their damn asses off and said basically, "Hey, we can have anyone throwing us this ball. We're going to play well." So as long as Chase and Mixon, so I now look, I don't want to say Jake Browning did bad because he did great. He did awesome. He won the game. But it was more so like how Russ has been playing, I feel. Or not maybe more than that, but like kind of like that, like a limited era. He was not the MVP of that game, in my opinion. It was either Chase or Mixon. And I think they put him perfectly in the system, and they're making him in a position where he feels comfortable. Getting the ball, easy passes to Mixon, easy passes to Chase. And Mixon's a running back. He was getting all kind of receptions the other night. And T. Higgins as well.
Yeah.
I think that they got a good system. So yes, the Bengals did not take care of Joe Burrow. However, they did take care of what they're gonna do were he to get hurt. Because Browning looked like he was comfortable out there. He wasn't making these giant ass plays. He wasn't playing like an MVP caliber, but he was playing so convincingly well in the system as a teammate that I think that they're gonna be able to manage well. And they're gonna beat the Colts, and they're somehow gonna be back in that what was it, AFC North? Yeah, AFC North, um, like second and third place race.
Yeah,
Which I honestly would love because I thought that whole we were so hyping up that division, and then Burrow and Andrews got hurt, and we were like, oh well, that could have been cool. It can still be cool if if the Bengals win this week, and I'm gonna take them.
yeah. I'm just not going off of all that system shit off of 1 week. I got to see them do that a little bit more. I don't think that's gonna you know I don't think it's gonna go as smoothly as it went last week. But I don't think people are really hyping him up much. I think they're just, they're like, hey, he went in there and kind of did his job, which, he did. And yeah, he was by no means the MVP. But like you said, he got in there and he did what he had to do. Yeah, if they can do that on a weekly basis, that would be great. I just don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know. I just don't see it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I
I'll, t-
gotta see them do that a little more. I still think
I'll tell you what. We're gonna agree on something right now. He's a guy to watch. He's a guy we shouldn't be writing off yet because he's a rookie. That was one of his first games ever. Be like, we should watch this guy. Like, who knows what his ceiling is? We don't know.
and I
He
think
could be a
and I,
starter eventually,
but and I think that's kind of where people are at with it though.
okay.
So
Okay, I thought it was a little more than that, but good. I'll take the Bengals. You'll take the Colts. Let's move on.
yeah.
It wouldn't be, by the way, out of the ballpark if the Colts won, in my opinion. But
Now
Buccaneers, Falcons
this next game is a huge game for the conference that nobody cares about. And
division, but yeah,
I'm gonna go with um the Bucks. I think the Bucks win this game. The Falcons are too inconsistent for me, and yeah, the Bucks are inconsistent. I mean, both of these teams were inconsistent, right? I feel like, but I just trust the Bucks offense a little bit more personally.
for for me, this is 1v1. This is Mike Evans versus Bijan Robinson. Both of these players have been doing extraordinarily well the last couple of weeks, while the rest of their team has been underwhelming. Obviously, Baker has been helping a lot with Mike Evans because how does he get the damn ball? But I do see it more as a 1v1 between Bijan and Evans. And it's hard for me to pick because I think that I do want to say the Bucks are gonna win, but Bijan, I do think has been outplaying Mike Evans. Like he's been playing better to obviously his position. Um I think I'll strap on with you. I'll go in with the Buccaneers. Actually, no, I'm gonna go with the Falcons. And a lot of it is Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates looked great against the Saints. I think he's gonna do the same thing against Baker Mayfield. And the reason that Jesse Bates' existence is the reason I'm switching my idea is because exactly what I said. It's still a 1v1. Mike Evans versus Bijan Robinson. The only problem is Bijan doesn't have Jesse Bates guarding. So I think that Jesse is going to play a giant role in limiting Mike Evans. I think he's still gonna juke him every now and then because Jesse Bates is still up and coming. But yeah, I do think that the Falcons will take it. I think it's 51-49 though. Jesse Bates is the deciding factor, as you see here, as you saw my thought process. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty close game though. Should be good.
Okay, we can move on. Jaguars Browns again, another game that would have been really good.
Yep. So
I'll go with the Jags. I mean, I don't.
let's establish this. How long I think he'll be out? Definitely this week, I think. And if I had to put down money, if you put a gun to my head and told me to put down money for next week, I'd say they're probably going to sit him, and then he'll be back. That's what I think.
I think he might play.
Sunday against the Browns?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's why I'm picking that.
It's the same injury that Mahomes had in the playoffs,
I
and
think
he could.
Look, I think they see that they got a shot. They got a shot at first place, and I think that Trevor Lawrence wants to play, and I think he's gonna. Now you can now whether that's smart or not, I'm not gonna argue that because I'm just not. But that's a different thing. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's hope.
Is it? I think this would be the. I think this, if he feels like he can play on Sunday, this is the move. Is there any way you think that they could put in? Help me pronounce this guy's name.
Oh,
Backup quarterback.
I don't know.
I just called him the funny name last weekend. But is there any way they could put him in and then have Trevor on the sideline and like just be like, it's not working. Trevor, you sure you're ready? All right. That's if they are all collectively saying he can go, I don't think they should play him. I think, especially with how quarterbacks have been going down this year, and the fact that you're going against another team with a backup quarterback, they should not be doing this. They should not be putting him in. And if he goes out there and gets injured, I will never watch football. I was so happy when he was what?
Now, I agree with you. He shouldn't play. But I also think it would be very stupid for them to start the second string guy and then bring him in. I think that would be even stupider. I think you would be asking for even more of an injury risk. I think that if he's gonna play the game. That's just my opinion. Because if you throw him in there in the second quarter and he's not all the way warmed up and they're right in game mode, your chance of an injury boost up way higher, way higher than if he were to just start out the game. That's just I mean that's just a fact. But I agree with you. He probably shouldn't play, but I think he's gonna, which is why I'm taking the Jaguars.
This is redemption season talking. This is Mike's fantasy team.
I don't have a
Um,
shot at the playoffs. I don't think I.
yeah, you do. You're in.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because you want to know why you're
I
in?
don't care. I don't care. Let's just move on. I don't care.
Well, no, I didn't take my pick. I take the Browns. If Lawrence
No,
doesn't
no,
play,
no, no, no,
I
no.
think.
I was saying to move on from fantasy.
Oh, well, I thought Flacco played very well. Um, I it's hard to I looked out there. It's hard to believe he's only been there a week. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks like he has a connection to the guys, especially I'm not quite sure the guy's name. But it was like someone who was on the Jets for a while, and obviously Flacco was there. They had an instant connection, even with Amari Cooper going out. I'm not sure on his status. Um, I mean, don't forget they also don't have Christian Kirk, who, by the way, is why I lost fantasy by 5 points and why you're in the playoffs. That's all I needed to say. But yeah, so the Jaguars will definitely be without Christian Kirk for a while. I'm not sure about the Browns and Mari Cooper, but luckily, even though Amari Cooper's out, it would appear as though he's not Flacco's favorite target. Like I said, I forget what the guy's name is. He came over from the Jets recently, and Flacco had a connection with this guy. And I think that they will tear up this mid Jags defense. And I think that without the starter, which I don't think he'll play, this Browns defense is going to eat up the Jaguars. I don't think it's going to be that close, unfortunately, unless Trevor Lawrence plays, in which I still might take the Browns. But
Okay. All right, we'll see.
all right, Lions Bears Lions. I do understand what happened to the Lions last time they played the Bears. I'm not taking that into consideration.
Can
The
I
Lions are going.
can I ask you something? You I'm just curious because I don't it wasn't much of a discussion, but we had talked about you had discussed the potential of the Lions last week. I forget how you worded it, but you made the allusion that they were kind of losing, I don't want to say momentum, but you were picking the Saints to win just based off of
It,
what you had seen from the Lions the last couple of weeks. Did the
it,
yeah,
damn.
but I guess what I'm asking you is because it was still a close game. So do you still feel kind of iffy on the Lions in a sense of where they are? I'm just curious for the sake of debate.
Uh, we all have our moments of weakness. I
No, I don't
wouldn't
think it was a terrible take. I mean,
I wouldn't I wouldn't worry too much about them. Um, I do think that they're in a worse position than they were in a few weeks ago, which is surprising because unlike everyone else, the injury bug has kind of been nice to them, with the exception of Montgomery, for a little bit.
yeah.
But I think that this is a good game for them to get their feet back under them against the Bears. The Bears are kind of what started that downward trend where they ended up losing a game on Thanksgiving and then barely beating the Saints. Um, so I think this could be a good game where they're like, these are the guys who started it. Let's go out there, kick their ass, and then we'll be on top again. We'll be one of the teams. I don't think they could possibly be the team in the NFC again, just because the 49ers crapped on the Eagles. The Eagles crapped on pretty much the rest of the league. Those are going to be the two teams. Maybe even Dallas if they end up beating the Eagles. I don't think the Lions are ever going to be that team, which a lot of people thought maybe they would be. But I do think they could regain their status as possibly being elite if they beat the Bears this week by a considerable amount, of course.
Okay. All right. We can move on.
You think they're gonna beat the Bears, right?
Yeah, I got the lines. Okay, so Seahawks 49ers, I'm gonna come out right now. I'm gonna be that guy. I think the Seahawks are gonna
He's
win.
being that guy.
I think the
He's being that guy. Wow. Okay.
I think not only obviously do I think that because I don't think the 49ers are the type of team to have a blowout win and then come in the next week and kind of fumble like fumble like not literally fumble but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But so I don't even think it's necessarily that.
Hmm.
Because the Seahawks lost to the Niners a few weeks ago, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Must have. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think the Seahawks really want to try and especially because now they have the Rams on their toes, right? Because what I think they're both
Mhm.
6-6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Um,
Rams have the edge though, for whatever reason. I don't understand how that works. Maybe points for
well, I hear you, but I'm just saying, I think if the
because they beat him
Seahawks
twice.
the Seahawks recognize that, and if I'm not mistaken, the Seahawks got a pretty brutal schedule the rest of the way, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I don't see them making it, unfortunately.
Um, oh no, I mean if they win this game, they will make the playoffs. But because then they can lose to the Eagles and that's fine. Then they just got the Titans, Steelers, and Cardinals. But
I didn't. Okay, so it's just a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet they're in. Okay.
no, it was because they had the 49ers, then the Cowboys, now the 49ers again, and then the Eagles. So that's
Well,
a
that's what I said. I said they're in a gauntlet right now.
yeah. So but anyways, I actually thought they looked good against the Cowboys. I know this is a different beast with the Niners, but I think they already played them once. So, they're
Mhm.
I don't think it'll be a blowout for sure. I think it'll be a good game because I'm obviously they've been watching film all week on them. They've already played them. They kind of know the ins and outs of everything. Um, they got a great coaching staff, great organization. So I think that they're going to make the proper adjustments, and I think they're going to catch the 49ers slipping. And I don't think that this will, and again, it's so annoying how every week it's like when this team wins, they're the best, and then when they lose, the analysis are like, oh, are they not gonna make the playoffs? Like it's like, bro, like this, it's bizarre. But so I don't think that I'm not. This isn't saying much about the Niners, more so about the Seahawks. Um, I think they're gonna come in and beat them.
I still can't believe there was a week where we agreed on every pick. I can't believe it. That was crazy. That was stupid. Um, but I'll take the Niners. Um, I think that the Seahawks are not a bad football team. All right. Now, I'm not gonna go out and say they deserve to win against the Cowboys, but I think their offense deserved to win against the Cowboys. I'll say that. Obviously, the Cowboys scored more points. That's how they won. But the Seahawks scored what was it, like 35 points on this very strong Dallas defense. And so you saying that they beat the 49ers, when I think about that, sounds a little less insane because the Dallas defense is great, just as the 49ers defense is great. Um, Unfortunately, they have more than one pass rusher just because Micah Parsons exists. They have what they just got Chase Young. It's going to be a little harder for Geno to make decisions, but he showed he can do that. So the reason I think they will lose is just because it's going to be kind of the same story where their defense lets up a lot of points to the Avengers. I think it's going to be a much closer game than the Eagles had, and I think a lot of people are going to be stupid and be like, "Well, that means that the Seahawks are better than the No, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think that it'll be a very close game, and I think the Niners will come out with it. Debo is looking really, really nice. Um, Unfortunately, I just traded him, but he looks really, really nice. Um, and yeah, I know the 49ers are a favorite, so there's probably not much else I could say about it. Um, Move on. Vikings, Raiders, lots of talk about Josh Dobbs potentially not starting this game because of his play the last couple of weeks. I wouldn't go that far. Obviously, he hasn't played up to par, but I think that there was an undeniable spark when he joined the Vikings that you can't just do that, especially against a defense that he can see and get his feet back under him. I think the Vikings are going to destroy the Raiders. Jefferson will be back. Why are you questioning getting rid of Josh Dobbs for this game? Like, It'd be different if it was against like the Chiefs or someone who's gonna make Josh Dobbs question himself even more when he comes out and plays terribly. But he's playing it's the Raiders. They have every chance in the world and then some to win this game, especially with the new best target, everyone's first overall in the fantasy draft, being back in Justin Jefferson.
I'm not mad at your take. I just think that the reasoning is a little more valid in a sense of like there's really no room for error at this point. Like like you know what I mean? Like it's not like it's like, hey, like come on, man, he could get his, he could get his mojo back in this game. It's like, okay, well, it's week 14, like we're there's no room for error at this point. But I at the same time, like I do think it might be jumping the gun a little bit. But I understand it I understand it a little more at this point of the season. But with that being said, yeah, I'm gonna take the Vikings. I think that
I mean, no room for error, sure, but who are you starting? Green Bay's on your tail. You're starting
I'm
a
not
rookie.
I'm not saying if it's a bad or decision or not, because if they have someone or not, that's not what my point is. My point is like I do understand the sense of urgency. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they start Dobbs. I think they'll tear up the Raiders either way, though. Broncos, Chargers. Nick Wright is so confident the Chargers are gonna beat the friggin' Broncos, and I just think that's the stupidest shit of all time. Like we don't need to talk about this one for too long because we did already talk a lot about the Broncos earlier when we were talking about the Texans. Let me just recap really quick. I don't take much away from the Broncos given their loss this past week. I think they still have a lot of their momentum. I think they are still a good team, just like you and I were saying. It wasn't just a hot streak. They are a good team who found who they are and what they need to do, and they're gonna beat the Chargers, and it shouldn't be close.
Now
Shouldn't.
look, is there a world where the Chargers could come in and win? Yes. It's not a world I live in, but
Not this world.
but what I will say real quick is Nick Wright is such a great and smart analysis that when he's being biased, it shows so unbelievably more. And he's just always had a bias against the Broncos, and he'll never he hates that he was wrong about them. So I think that's really all that boils down to. With that, I think the Broncos are going to beat them. Yes, I'm not saying like it wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world if the Chargers won, but I just don't foresee it happening. I don't. And we can move on to the more important game.
Oh, I was like, where are the Patriots? I don't see this. Bills and Chiefs. Whew. This is a good game. This is gonna be a good game. I think I'm gonna revert to one of your old reasonings where if the Chiefs won last week, I would take the Bills. You were gonna say it. You were gonna say it. If the
Well,
Chiefs won last week, because you also got to think of the gauntlet teams that the Bills have been playing, and the fact that they haven't been out of these games. They've been playing very well. They should have beat the Eagles, you know. And they just fell short, and it's like they got to win one of them. And here's the Chiefs. Okay, it's one of the hardest ones of them, but you got to win one.
the,
It's the
the
Chiefs coming off a loss, though. They're not going to lose this game, unfortunately, for the Bills.
yeah, like the Chiefs, man, and you also got to think of the. I personally believe that the Chiefs have had the Bills mentally defeated now for quite some time. Um,
Mhm.
and just when you think like, man, this is the meetup that the Bills are gonna win, the Chiefs lose, everybody's low on them again, and now the Chiefs have the perfect opportunity. Because I don't know if you remember, but within the last year or two, the Bills used to talk so much shit about how they were coming for the Chiefs, this and that. So now the Chiefs have a chance to basically end their season. It's
Yeah.
very, very possible that they end their season. And I think the Chiefs would love nothing more than to do that. So I already think they had that motivation on it. On top of the fact, like you said, they're not losing two in a row. I think that this will be a good game, but there's no. I would be. I'll put it this way: if the Chiefs lose this game,
Mhm.
I still think that they're going to be a like they could still easily win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that, but I do think like if they win this game, all their doubts and questions about their aura is just not. I mean, people will question it forever because that's just what for some reason people love to do. But if they lose this game, it will look like, oh wait, they aren't necessarily completely invincible, and
Mhm.
I don't foresee that happening, and so I think the Chiefs are going to win.
Mahomes is gonna go up. It's gonna be Mahomes. He's gonna do 400 yards or some bullshit. But all right, Eagles, Cowboys, and that's where the difference is between the Chiefs and the Eagles because I could 100% use the same logic, but I'm not gonna because I think the Cowboys will win. They were very close to beating them while away. They are familiar with the Eagles, very familiar with the Eagles. The Eagles are now coming into Cowboy country. I think the Cowboys are going to win. I think it's going to be a great matchup, just like the other one was. Obviously, these two teams are pretty equal, and they gave us a hell of a show when I went out to Pittsburgh and watched with you. That was a very funny game we saw there. I think we're going to get one of those again, and I just think the role reverse is going to happen. Dallas could have won that game as easily as the what am I trying to say here? Dallas easily could have won that game just as the Eagles did. Like, it was such a 50-50 game. And I think this week is going to go in favor of the home team once again, which is Dallas.
Yeah, I got Dallas, but I have it for a different reason. I think that Hurts is. I think Hurts is hurt. um,
Really?
100%, 100%. And I think he's going to be stupid and try to play it out when I I think they should bench him. I don't think he should play on Sunday. But he's gonna. Um, and I think that's really gonna hurt them. I mean, you saw towards I think it was last year when he sat out for a couple of games and then he came back at the end when he really probably shouldn't have, and they looked a little iffy at the end because they had started out really hot last year too. I think that's kind of on the same pace to happen again. But they're not sending him out this time. But yeah, I don't know. I think with that, the Cowboys are going to want revenge. I would be shocked if the Cowboys didn't win this game personally.
So who do you think is more injured, Hurts or Lawrence?
It's different, but I would say Hurts. But I don't know. Who the
Dude,
hell am I? I'm not a doc. I don't know. I'm literally just shooting from the
Trevor
hip.
Lawrence is still walking to the hospital, man.
And we're talking about a brain injury here. Like,
What do you think is wrong with him? A concussion?
yeah.
Okay. Well, as long I don't mind concussions anymore because that means you're out for like 1 week max in the NFL, unless you're Tua Tagovailoa. But
Okay, but okay. Yeah. Look, I'm just saying.
I'm I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. But hopefully he's not hurt and they lose anyways because it's just ridiculous this year. Um. Anyways, it looks as though that's the last interesting game we'll be talking about. And there's two left. The Packers will
And
likely
and
beat the Giants on Monday night.
and both of these are Monday night. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
exactly. And they start at the same time for some reason. See, I don't know. Okay, basketball does do this. I love when they start games like 15 minutes or just 30 minutes apart. So when one game's on break, like during like halftime or intermission, you can switch over to the other game. So it's not even smart. It's just something you should do. They're starting these games at the same exact time. I don't get it. But who is it? The Packers are gonna beat the Giants. I think that goes without saying. Maybe Danny DeVito will go off and win. This is not what I'm gonna predict. And the Dolphins, I actually lost where I was. Who are the Dolphins facing?
The Titans.
They're gonna win that game. I don't know what's going on with Derrick Henry if he'll be back. Unfortunately, another injury that was overshadowed last week. I forgot until literally just now. Um, even if he plays, I mean, I guess I see him running all over the Dolphins defense because it's not that great, but I don't know. I don't see the Dolphins losing that game. And I
Yeah, I
think that
agree.
about it was a really quick ending. We just hurtled through those two games. I'm just to no one's surprise seeing what two games they are, but
Yeah.
I think that's funny that we
Yeah.
just did that to a couple prime timers.
I think
But
I think this week really has potential to be really, really good. So I'm excited.
well, hold on. I'm looking up Derrick Henry really quick. Just give me not in concussion protocol, not concussed, so I guess he will play. That was the concern. Um, I feel like the beginning and the end of the year are the best games, and I literally just kind of came to that thought. Um, and you might be considering like why the beginning, and no one's hurt. You got everyone out there. You got all the big names out there. Even last year, like obviously this year is way bigger for injuries, but like you got everyone out there week one in the NFL, and then the reason that the last couple weeks are so great is obviously because playoffs matter and it's make or break for some teams. So yeah, I think we're getting to a point where games are going to start to become very, very interesting again. Not because of who's playing in the games like it is in the first couple of weeks, but because of teams and legacies on the line and who's going to make the playoffs, who isn't going to make the playoffs, who's going to be seeded. Um, I think it's going to be great. I don't have work finally during a Sunday. So I'll be able to just sit down and watch this damn game. Oh no. Ooh, I just realized I'm gonna be so annoying on Christmas Eve, man. I'm not even gonna be talking to my family. I'm just gonna be watching friggin' football. Oh, I just realized Christmas Eve is a Sunday. That's gonna kind of suck.
I mean, it's really not. I mean, but
I mean, it is when your family doesn't watch that much football.
mine doesn't either. But I mean, you could multitask. It's not like a hard
I,
thing to
I,
do.
I just wish I had I just wish like it was like let's say like it was Monday, Christmas Eve. I could just watch a shit ton of football on Sunday, hang out with my family on Monday, and then Christmas on Tuesday. But
Yeah, you got it hard,
it's not
man.
the way of the turntables.
I'm gonna tell you.
Thanks for watching. So like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back next week. We'll have more content being uploaded. Um, unless you have anything else to say, say la vie and au revoir.
Catch y'all.